Alright, so you guys know the drill. We have a new boot in today, obviously, as you can see, Under Armour. These ones are the Blur Pros in the metallic silver velocity black colorway. So, let's cut right to the chase. We'll show you what it's all about. Here we have right foot, left foot. Okay, so the thing about these ones, like I said, when we showed you the Create Pro video, we really made no bones about the fact that we did not care for those cleats even a little bit. These ones are essentially the cleat that has replaced the Create Pro. A lot of work has been done, no question, just from first glance. The uppers look like they fit a little bit better. The synthetic is actually kind of tough, so that's a plus. But other than that, yeah, still a lot to be learned. But yeah, let me give you an idea of what's going on here. So first of all, we'll show you the new sock liner. As you can see there, this is what they call the 4D foam. So it's height, width, depth, length, but then also basically the way it wraps around your foot, it kind of comes up on the sides when you're stepping on it. When you're applying pressure right in here, I would take the sock liner out for you, but it doesn't look like it wants to do that. So, but anyway, basically the idea is when you apply pressure to the center of this foam, it's meant to come up the sides and kind of just wrap around your foot. It does work. Basically, when you step on it, you can definitely feel the foam come up on the sides. It is comfortable, but truthfully, as you guys already know, I'm not a huge fan of foam sock liners. I do like a little bit of pour-on. Certainly there's no more natural material left in them. EVA, that'll do fine, no problem, but this foam stuff is just a little bit too much for me. It's definitely not something you're going to want to stand on for too terribly long. If I could make a recommendation, if you're going to buy these, accommodate for that. If you wear orthotics or something like that, please absolutely feel free and take that foam out of there and go with the orthotic instead. Anyway, so we'll show you the outsole here. Outsole is obviously a bladed outsole. It's there's very, very little support for the middle of your heel back here. On most studs, you'll see, basically you'll be looking at a thicker stud on the heel. The only reason for that being, obviously, is to kind of counteract the forefoot having so much space between studs. Your balance is going to be compromised on these ones on the heel, so keep that in mind. Basically, if you're a guy who's, cutting and turning for 45 out of 90 minutes in a game, be wary of this particular boot. It is supposed to be a striker boot. It's supposed to be something that's, kind of on par with a Vapor. So again, like we said, we've learned a little, but we have a lot more to learn. These studs through the middle of the forefoot up here, these studs are essentially supposed to be effective at pivoting. The bladed studs on the outsides of the forefoot and the instep, obviously you can see, they're kind of your standard bladed stud. They are pretty shallow. They're really not what I would call a substantial stud. But this center stud right here actually does... when you're stepping on it and you're kind of, you're just kind of pivoting your foot naturally, you can definitely feel that center stud a little bit. I wouldn't call it an excess amount of stud pressure, but you can definitely feel it. Onto the upper, which is, it is definitely a good quality synthetic. It's not something you're going to find that tears, and actually this is kind of my favorite part about it. You can obviously hear that right there. It's very tacky. It's definitely something that you're going to notice the difference when you put your foot on a ball with that. It has kind of like that marble design, what Lotto calls obsidian, right on the tongue there. It just screams early 90s to me. I have a hard time looking at that one, just like I did on the Zero Gravities, but oh well. As for other than that, seam point through the heel right here, we're already predicting, we can't say for certain, but definitely predicting that this is going to cause problems. We've seen cracking on heel counters before with a seam like that and a mold point that runs right through the middle. The mold point on this is offset just ever so slightly over to the left side of the shoe, or the outside of the shoe, I should say. But nevertheless, with that seam running right down the middle, we're expecting that this one's going to cause issues. The attachment to the upper it's epoxied. It's your usual kind of bonding deal here on the forefoot. It is not riveted the way the Create Pros were. The epoxy, to be honest, if you look right on the seam, you're going to see that there's already fray there. Another durability concern we're kind of keeping an eye on, but it looks like it's going to be kind of a problem. With this whole upper being one piece of synthetic, it is expected to mold pretty well. Just trying it on the first time, you definitely notice that it wants to shape to your foot, no doubt about that. And with a one-piece upper, that'll definitely be an easy thing for it to do. Only problem is, just like with one-piece leather uppers, you're going to find that right here, this seam on the front of the shoe where the upper meets the outsole is going to come undone a lot. Just like with your Joma cleats, just like with old Tiempo Legends, stuff like that, it was the same deal. It's that whole one-piece upper, it tends to come right apart where the upper meets the outsole. But anyway, I mean, that's pretty much the long and short of it. This is, it's an improvement, like we said. It's definitely an improvement, but it is, it's nowhere near a Vapor. It's nowhere near an Audi Zero. It's nothing like that. Retailing at $180 is definitely kind of a dangerous move on Under Armour's part. They want to look legitimate, but this is not how they go about it. So, but anyway, not the 100% worst cleat we've ever seen, that's for sure. But yeah, check them out. We will have them up on the site if you want to, be a little bit bold, be a little bit daring, and pick one up for yourself. But other than that, give us some feedback, guys, and don't forget to check out our documentary video. And we'll have more good stuff coming up for you over the course of the day. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys.